Welcome to the One Piece World Timeline, where we'll explore the rich history of the Grand Line and beyond. I'm Amy Chan, and today we're diving deep into the events that shaped the world of One Piece. From ancient civilizations to the birth of the world government, this timeline will reveal the hidden secrets and monumental moments that set the stage for the Great Pirate Era. So sit back, and let's begin our journey through time. Our story begins around 5,000 years ago, with the planting of the Tree of Knowledge on O'Hara. This ancient tree would become a symbol of wisdom and the pursuit of truth, setting the stage for the scholars who would later challenge the world government's version of history. About 1,000 years later, we see the construction of the Palace of Alyabarna in Arabasta. This magnificent structure would stand as a testament to the kingdom's power and endurance through the ages. Fast forward to about 1,100 years ago, and we witness the rise of Shandora, the legendary city of gold. This prosperous civilization would play a crucial role in the events to come, its legacy echoing through the centuries. Around a millennium ago, several significant events occurred. The massive elephant Zanesha was born, and the first sightings of the Elephant Island Zoo were recorded. It was during this time that the Mink tribe chose to isolate themselves from the outside world on Zou, creating a hidden society that would remain largely unknown to the rest of the world for centuries. Meanwhile, a quarrel between the Long-Arm tribe and the Long-Leg tribe began, a conflict that would persist for generations. But it's approximately 900 years ago that we reach a pivotal moment in the One Piece world's history, the beginning of the Void Century. This mysterious era saw the rise of a great civilization that dominated the entire planet. They created weapons of mass destruction and left behind cryptic messages carved into indestructible stones known as poneglyphs. During this time, a figure known as Joy Boy obtained the Hito Hito no Mi model, Nika, becoming the world's first pirate. The sea levels rose by 200 meters, drastically changing the world's geography. The Iron Giant, a colossal mechanical warrior, was constructed for unknown purposes. Joy Boy attempted to raise an ancient ship called Noah with the help of a power known as Poseidon, but for reasons lost to time, he failed to fulfill his promise to Fishman Island. Around 830 years ago, we learn of the birth of Amatsuki Toki, a woman who would play a significant role in events to come, thanks to her unique ability to travel through time. The Void Century concluded around 800 years ago with a great war that saw the destruction of Shandora and the defeat of Joy Boy. In the aftermath, we see major political shifts across the world. The Rica family took control of Dressrosa after the Don Quixote family's departure, marking a new era for the kingdom and its people, including the enslaved dwarves who received a sincere apology from their new rulers. It was also at this time that Zanesha, the giant elephant, committed a crime so grave that it was sentenced to walk the seas for eternity, carrying the island of Zou on its back. Perhaps the most significant event of this period was the formation of the world government. 20 royal families united to create this powerful organization, which quickly moved to control and censor all information about the previous century. They outlawed the ability to read the poneglyphs, effectively erasing 100 years of history from public knowledge. In the shadows of these events, the ancient weapon Pluton was hidden beneath Wano, and a mysterious figure named Nefertari D. Lily disappeared while traveling from Mary Geos to Arabasta, taking with her secrets that would remain buried for centuries. Around 700 years ago, work began on a bridge on Tequila Wolf, though its purpose remained a mystery. 659 years ago, we witnessed the birth of Oars, a giant who would become known as the Continent Puller and whose legacy would echo through the ages. About 500 years ago, we see the end of an era with the death of Oars, the infamous Continent Puller. This giant, who once ruled over a nation of brigands from around the world, met his end due to frostbite while traveling through the northern lands. His body, preserved in ice, would become a silent testament to his legendary status. Around 460 years ago, a significant medical breakthrough occurred in the land of Lnil. A cure was found for the devastating tree fever, a disease that had nearly wiped out the majority of the kingdom's inhabitants. This discovery would save countless lives and mark a turning point for the region. We then come to the birth of two individuals who would play crucial roles in shaping the world's understanding of history and adventure: Mont Blanc Noland and Calgara, born 441 years ago. Their stories would become intertwined in a tale of friendship, exploration, and tragic misunderstanding that would echo through the centuries. About 400 years ago, we follow the journeys of Mont Blanc Noland, an explorer whose tales would become both famous and infamous. Noland's adventures took him across the Grand Line, where he encountered wonders like the Waver, an artifact from Skypiea. His explorations led him to Greenbit, where he protected the dwarfs from human invaders, earning him hero status and a statue in his honor. Noland's most significant discovery came when he arrived on Jaya Island. There, he cured the Shandya of a terrible disease, cementing a friendship with their people. During this time, the giant snake Nola was born, a creature that would play a role in future events. However, fate had other plans for Jaya. For years after Noland's visit, a cataclysmic event occurred. The knock-up stream, a powerful upward current, shot a large portion of Jaya into the sky. This event marked the beginning of a long war between the Scythians and the Shandya, a conflict that would persist for centuries. Noland's final journey to Jaya ended in tragedy. When he brought the king of Lnil to see the city of gold, they found the island deserted, the golden city vanished without a trace. 6 months later, Noland was executed for his supposed lies about the Golden City, maintaining until his dying breath that the city had fallen into the ocean. His story would become a cautionary tale, but also an inspiration for future explorers. About 300 years ago, we see a brief but significant event in the North Blue. The Jerma Kingdom established the Jerma Empire, reigning over the region for 66 days. Though short-lived, this empire would leave a lasting impact on the world's political landscape. As we approach more recent history, about 200 years ago, several important events occurred. The crew of the St. Brice set out from the Brice Kingdom towards the Grand Line, managing to reach Skypiea before vanishing without a trace, adding to the mysteries surrounding the Sky Island. This period also marked a turning point in the relationship between humans and fishmen. The world government, after centuries of discrimination, formed an alliance with Fishman Island. As part of this agreement, the institution of slavery was officially prohibited, though the effectiveness of this ban would be questionable in the years to come. The Ryugu Kingdom attended its first levee, a global council of kingdoms, though it would not attend another for 2 centuries. In the waters near Green Bit, the fearsome fighting fish appeared, adding a new danger to the already perilous seas. Perhaps most mysteriously, the Iron Giant, dormant for centuries, briefly awakened and attacked Mary Geos, the holy land of the world government. However, it ran out of energy before causing significant damage, leaving many to wonder about its origins and purpose. As we move into more recent times, we see the births of individuals who would shape the world in various ways. Giants like Bragi, Dori, Kashii, and Oima were born, destined to become legendary warriors. The enigmatic Carmel, who would later be known as the Mountain Witch, was born 143 years ago, her future actions set to have far-reaching consequences. We also see the birth of Dr. Kureha, 141 years ago, a woman who would go on to become known as the Witch of Drum Island, her medical knowledge and longevity becoming legendary. 127 years ago, Jaguar D. Sol was born, a giant who would play a crucial role in events yet to come, particularly in the life of a certain archaeologist. And finally, 107 years ago, we see the birth of Professor Clover, a man whose pursuit of knowledge would have profound implications for the world and for those who seek to uncover the truth of the Void Century. About 100 years ago, the legendary duel between the giant warriors Dori and Bragi began on Little Garden, a fight that would continue for a century. This same period saw the believed extinction of the disease-carrying Kestia, though this assumption would later prove false. In a significant event for the world's most notorious prison, the revolutionary Morley was imprisoned and impelled down. Using her abilities, she would later dig tunnels and create Level 5.5, a hidden floor that would play a crucial role in future events. This era also marks the beginning of Mother Carmel's notorious activities. After saving the remnants of the giant warrior pirates from execution, she established the Sheep's House Orphanage on Elbaf. However, this seemingly benevolent act masked a sinister purpose. For the next 37 years, Carmel would use the orphanage as a front for her child slavery ring. The following decades saw the births of numerous individuals who would go on to shape the world. San Juan Wolf, destined to become the colossal battleship of the Blackbeard pirates, was born 99 years ago. The weather scientist Herdas, born 97 years ago, would later play a crucial role in the development of weather science. 92 years ago saw the birth of Strusson, a pivotal figure in the creation of the Big Mom pirates. And 90 years ago, Brook was born, destined to become the sole king and a member of the Straw Hat Pirates. A significant moment in the history of Wano occurred 81 years ago. As Hadruddin, future captain of the new giant warrior pirates, was born, a power struggle unfolded in Wano. The Kurazumi family's attempt to seize power through poisoning was thwarted by the birth of Kazuki Sukiyaki, leading to the downfall and persecution of the Kurazumi clan. The following years saw the births of many who would become key players in the Marines and the pirate world. Sengoku and Tsuru, future leaders of the Marines, were born. So too were Monkey D. Garp, Silvers Rayleigh, and Gold Roger, men who would go on to define an entire era of piracy. 74 years ago marked the birth of Edward Newgate, the man who would become the legendary Whitebeard. 68 years ago, two significant figures were born, Charlotte Linlin, the future Big Mom, and Gon Fall, who would become the god of Skypiea. The following year saw a crucial development in weather science with the completion of Weatheria by Herdas and his colleagues. 65 years ago, the brilliant scientist Vegapunk was born, a man whose inventions would revolutionize the world. A pivotal moment occurred 63 years ago when the young Charlotte Linlin was left on Elbaf. Her monstrous strength and uncontrollable appetite led to tragedy when she destroyed a village and killed Jorel over a craving for semla. This event would shape Linlin's future and the relationship between humans and giants for decades to come. In the aftermath of this tragedy, Linlin joined forces with Strussen to create what would eventually become Tato Land and the Big Mom Pirates. The following years saw the births of more key figures, Fisher Tiger, future liberator of slaves, Rikudoldo III, king of Dressrosa, and Kazuki Oden, the legendary samurai of Wano. 59 years ago, Kaido was born, destined to become one of the most feared pirates in the world. 56 years ago, three future pillars of the Marines, Sengoku, Monkey D. Garp, and Tsuru, joined the organization, marking the beginning of a new era in Marine leadership. 55 years ago, a group led by Shimatsuki Kozaburo left Wano country for the East Blue, eventually founding Shimatsuki Village. This migration would have far-reaching consequences, influencing the birth and training of future Straw Hat swordsman Roronoa Zoro. The same year saw the births of several key figures, including Sakazuki, future Fleet Admiral Akainu, Monkey D. Dragon, future leader of the Revolutionary Army, and Nico Alvia, mother of Nico Robin and key archaeologist. As we approach the halfway point of the century, we see the early exploits of Kazuki Oden, whose strength and adventurous spirit were evident from a young age. Meanwhile, Gold Roger was making a name for himself as a rookie pirate, setting the stage for the great pirate era to come. 50 years ago, tragedy struck the Rumbar pirates. An incurable disease forced the crew to split, with Brook taking command of the healthy half. However, their journey was cut short in the Florian Triangle, where they were annihilated by an unknown enemy. This event would set the stage for one of the most unique members of the future Straw Hat crew. Meanwhile in Wano, the young Kazuki Oden continued his rebellious streak, setting a casino on fire after being banned. This year also saw the births of several future key players, including Gecko Moria, Charlotte Paraspero, and Nefertari Cobra. The following year, thanks to the power of the Yomi Yomi no Mi, Brook's soul returned to his body, only to find it had decayed to a skeleton. In Wano, Oden's actions led to his sentencing to hard labor, though his strength and charisma saw him quickly rise to run the quarry. This period also marked Kaido's rise to prominence as the ultimate soldier. The next few years saw the births of many who would become major figures in the pirate world, including Charlotte Katakuri and his triplet brothers, and future warlord of the sea, Bartholomew Kuma. 46 years ago, a significant event occurred when the Vodka Kingdom attempted to enlist the young Kaido into the Marines. His escape from this fate would set him on the path to becoming one of the most feared pirates in the world. In Wano, Oden's exploits continued. He diverted a river to end a drought, inadvertently flooding the capital, and later formed a harem that led to widespread fighting in the capital. These actions further cemented his reputation as a wild and unpredictable figure. 44 years ago marked a pivotal moment when Kaido joined the Rocks Pirates, a crew that would shape the future of the pirate world. The following years saw more significant births and events. Charlotte Katakuri ate the Machi Machi no Mi, gaining his fearsome devil fruit powers. Future warlord of the sea Dracul Mihawk was born, as was the man who would become known as the world's greatest shipwright, Tom. 42 years ago, we see the founding of Orange Town by Boodle and his followers, fleeing from pirate attacks. This town would later play a role in the early adventures of the Straw Hat Pirates. 41 years ago, Wano witnessed the infamous Mountain God incident. Oden's slaying of the Mountain God led to his exile from the Flower Capital, a turning point in his life. This year also saw the births of several future key players, including Don Quixote Doflamingo and Virgo. 40 years ago, another batch of future influential figures were born, including Marshall D. Teach, who would later become the fearsome Blackbeard, and Belmere, future adopted mother of Nami. 39 years ago, Oden's defeat of Ashura Doji in Kuri led to his appointment as daimyo of the region, marking the beginning of his leadership. In the wider world, Gold Roger and his crew became the first to reach Lodestar Island, the final island on the Grand Line that can be reached by log pose. This achievement would set the stage for Roger's future conquest of the Grand Line. But perhaps the most significant event of this period occurred 38 years ago, the God Valley Incident. This mysterious event saw an unlikely alliance between marine hero Monkey D. Garp and pirate Gold Roger, who teamed up to defeat the Rocks pirates. This battle, shrouded in secrecy by the world government, would have far-reaching consequences for the world. During this battle, the young Bartholomew Kuma ate the Nikyu no Mi, using its powers to save himself and other slaves, including future revolutionary leader Emporio Ivankov. It was also here that the Roger pirates found a baby Shanks in a treasure chest, an event that would shape the future of piracy. 37 years ago, Dr. Hiralik returned to Drum Island, beginning his quest to cure the sickness plaguing his homeland. This seemingly small event would later play a crucial role in the life of Tony Chopper and the fate of the entire kingdom. 36 years ago saw the birth of several future key players, including Cutty Flam, later known as Frankie, and Smoker, who would become a prominent marine officer. 33 years ago marked a significant turning point for the Don Quixote family. Homing's decision to renounce his status as a celestial dragon would have far-reaching consequences, setting the stage for Doflamingo's tragic backstory and future rise to power. This year also saw Oden save Inuarashi, Nekomamushi, and Kawamatsu from torture, recruiting them as his retainers, a decision that would impact the future of Wano. 32 years ago, two men who would become formidable admirals, Borsellino, Kizaru, and Sakazuki, Akainu, joined the Marines, beginning their rise through the ranks. 31 years ago, in a shocking act that would define his character, the young Don Quixote Doflamingo murdered his own father. This year also saw the births of several future supernovas, including Scratchman Apu and Basil Hawkins. 30 years ago, we see the seeds of revolution being planted in the Sorbet Kingdom, with Kuma and Jinny's actions foreshadowing future events. This year also marked a pivotal moment in Shinjo's life, as his defeat by Garp led to a long-standing grudge. Perhaps most significantly, Kazuki Oden left Wano to join the Whitebeard Pirates, a decision that would have profound implications for the future. This year also saw the births of several individuals who would play crucial roles in the future, including Nico Robin, Rob Lucci, and Boa Sandersonia. 28 years ago, three events occurred that would shape the course of history. Gold Roger discovered he had a fatal disease, spurring him to embark on his final and greatest journey. Nico Alvia left O'Hara on her fateful Poneglyph expedition. And in Wano, Kazuki Momonosuke was born, destined to play a crucial role in his country's future. 27 years ago, the Roger pirates faced off against Shiki in the Battle of Ed War, a confrontation that would become legendary in pirate lore. 26 years ago saw a flurry of significant events. Neptune became king of the Ryugu Kingdom. The Roger pirates and Whitebeard pirates engaged in an epic three-day battle, ending in an alliance that would change the course of history. Kazuki Oden joined the Roger pirates, taking Inuarashi and Nekomamushi with him. Roger visited Skypiea, leaving a message on the Poneglyph that would be discovered by the Straw Hats years later. The mermaid Shirley made her fateful prediction about the birth of the mermaid princess. And perhaps most crucially, Roger was shown the road Poneglyph on Zou, a key step in his journey to becoming the Pirate King. 25 years ago, Monkey D. Dragon, father of Luffy, gained notoriety as the captain of the Freedom Fighters. His actions inspired many, including Bartholomew Kuma, setting the stage for the future Revolutionary Army. Perhaps the most significant event of this year was the Roger Pirates' completion of their journey to Laugh Tale. Having conquered the Grand Line, Gold Roger earned the title of Pirate King. Shortly after, he disbanded his crew, setting in motion events that would change the world forever. It was at this time that Kazuki Oden dreamed of opening Wano's borders in 20 years, a vision that would drive future events in the country. The following year, 24 years ago, marked the beginning of the Great Age of Pirates. Gold Roger turned himself into the Marines and was sentenced to death. His final words ignited a fire in the hearts of pirates worldwide, spurring them to seek out his hidden treasure, One Piece. This event had immediate repercussions. The powerful pirate Shiki went on a rampage at Marineford, only to be defeated by Sengoku and Garp. Meanwhile, Shanks began his journey as a pirate captain, parting ways with his former crewmate Buggy. In Water 7, the legendary shipwright Tom was put on trial for building Roger's ship. He was given a 10-year stay of execution to complete his sea train project, a decision that would have far-reaching consequences for the future. 23 years ago, a grave crime was committed in Wano with the theft of Ryuma's corpse and his sword Shusui, an event that would resonate years later. 22 years ago saw one of the most tragic events in recent history, the O'Hara incident. The island of scholars was obliterated by a buster call, with Nico Robin emerging as the sole survivor. This event not only set Robin on her path as the Devil Child but also led to the formation of the Revolutionary Army by Dragon and his allies in response to the world government's actions. This year also marked the birth of Portgas d'Ace, son of the Pirate King, whose very existence would shape future events. Shanks met Yasopp, a key member of his future crew, and the notorious pirate Shiki escaped from Impel Down. 21 years ago, in the Germa Kingdom, Vinsmoke Judge began his controversial experiments on his unborn sons, aiming to create superhuman warriors. This decision would have profound effects on the life of Sanji and the future of the Vinsmoke family. This year also saw the births of several future key players, including Roronoa Zoro, destined to become the world's greatest swordsman, and Yuta, whose voice would one day shake the world. 20 years ago, Whitebeard, one of the 4 emperors, claimed Fishman Island under his protection, marking a significant shift in the power dynamics of the New World. This act would have far-reaching consequences, influencing the future of Fishman and human relations. In Wano, a tragic chapter unfolded as Kazuki Oden and the 9 Red Scabbards failed in their attempt to defeat Kaido and open Wano's borders. The execution of Oden and his wife Toki at the hands of Kurozumi Orochi and Kaido would become a pivotal moment in Wano's history. In her final act, Toki used the power of the Toki Toki no Mi to send her son and the retainers 20 years into the future, setting the stage for future events in Wano. This year also saw the birth of Nami, who would later become the navigator of the Straw Hat Pirates. In a twist of fate, she was adopted by Belmere, a marine who found her and another orphan, Nojiko, after a fierce battle. 19 years ago, a dark chapter began in the life of Boa Hancock and her sisters as they were kidnapped and enslaved by the Celestial Dragons. This traumatic experience would shape Hancock's future and her attitude towards the world government. This same year marked the births of Monkey D. Luffy and Usopp, 2 individuals destined to change the world as part of the Straw Hat Pirates. 18 years ago, Kaido and Orochi's grip on Wano tightened as they took control of Ringo. Meanwhile, on Whole Cake Island, Big Mom gave birth to the Charlotte Decuplets, showcasing her terrifying ability to expand her family and crew. 17 years ago, Queen Otoheim began her campaign on Fishman Island to improve relations between fishmen and humans, a noble effort that would have tragic consequences. This year also saw a young Rob Lucci showcase his ruthless efficiency in a hostage situation, foreshadowing his future as a deadly CP9 agent. On Dawn Island, young Portgas d'Ace and Sabo began saving money to buy a pirate ship, dreaming of the adventures that lay ahead. Meanwhile, on Drum Island, Tony Chopper was born, destined to become the doctor of the Straw Hat Pirates. 16 years ago, Fisher Tiger, having escaped slavery, returned to Fishman Island and made the momentous decision to free all slaves from Mary Geos. This year also saw the tragic extermination of the people of Flevance, leading to Trafalgar Law joining the Don Quixote pirates, an event that would shape his future significantly. This year also marked the birth of Princess Shirahoshi, the mermaid princess whose power would be crucial in future events. 15 years ago, Fisher Tiger's daring raid on Mary Geos freed countless slaves, including Boa Hancock and her sisters. He rebranded the Mark of the Celestial Dragons on the freed fishmen slaves into the Mark of the Sun, forming the Sun Pirates. This act of defiance would have lasting implications for fishman-human relations. 14 years ago, Tom's workers completed the first sea train, the Puffing Tom, a technological marvel that would change the face of water transportation. In the Marines, Virgo, secretly working for Doflamingo, infiltrated the G5 base, positioning himself as a double agent. 13 years ago, a seemingly insignificant incident occurred that would have far-reaching consequences. The Red Hair Pirates stole the Gomu Gomu no Mi from a world government ship, leading to the imprisonment of CP9 agent Who's Who. Little did anyone know that this fruit would eventually find its way to a young boy who would shake the foundations of the world. In Alabasta, Princess Vivi became the vice leader of the Suna Suna clan, beginning her journey that would eventually lead her back to her royal duties. Meanwhile, Toto and his son Koza set out to establish the village of Yuba, setting the stage for future conflicts in the kingdom. On Amazon Lily, a significant change in leadership occurred. With the death of Empress Tritoma, Boa Hancock ascended to become the new leader of the Kuja and was granted the position of Warlord of the Sea. This elevation in status would play a crucial role in future events. A tragic turn of events unfolded on Minion Island as Don Quixote Rocinante and Trafalgar Law's attempt to steal the Ope Nomi ended in disaster. Rocinante's death at the hands of his brother Doflamingo would leave a lasting impact on Law, shaping his future motivations. In the East Blue, young Sanji was expelled from the Vinsmoke family, setting him on a path that would eventually lead him to the Baratai and the Straw Hat Pirates. 12 years ago, a series of events occurred that would have profound implications for the future. In the Sorbet Kingdom, Kuma took in an orphan child, naming her Jewelry Bonnie, unaware of the significant role she would play in future events. On Dawn Island, 7-year-old Monkey D. Luffy accidentally ate the Gomu Gomu Nomi stolen by Shanks' crew, gaining his rubber powers. This seemingly small event would set in motion a chain of events that would change the world. Shortly after, Luffy was taken by his grandfather Garp to train with Curly Dayton, where he formed a brotherhood with Ace and Sabo, united by their shared dream of becoming pirates. A dark chapter unfolded in the Goa Kingdom as the Royals, in preparation for a visit from the Celestial Dragons, attempted to burn down the Grey Terminal. This heinous act was thwarted by Dragon and the revolutionaries, saving countless lives but also leading to Sabo's apparent death and subsequent amnesia. Meanwhile, on Jaya, Mont Blanc Cricket arrived, beginning his quest to uncover the truth about his ancestors' tale of a city of gold. In a pivotal moment for fishman-slash-human relations, the Sun Pirates took in Koala, a former slave of the Celestial Dragons. Fisher Tiger's decision to help her, despite his distrust of humans, would have lasting repercussions. Tragically, this act of kindness indirectly led to Fisher Tiger's death, as he chose to die rather than accept a human blood transfusion. Enraged by Tiger's death, Arlong attempted to take revenge but was defeated and imprisoned by future Admiral Borsellino, setting the stage for his eventual reign of terror in the East Blue. 11 years ago, Jinbe's decision to become a warlord of the sea had far-reaching consequences. While it secured Arlong's release from prison, it also led to the disbanding of the Sun Pirates into 3 factions, setting the stage for future conflicts. In the East Blue, a fateful encounter between Zeph and Sanji occurred when both were stranded on a desolate island for 85 days. This experience would forge an unbreakable bond between them and lead to the opening of the Baratai restaurant. Meanwhile, young Roronoa Zoro made a promise with Kuina to become the world's greatest swordsperson, a vow that would drive him even after her untimely death. 10 years ago marked a year of significant changes and tragedies across the world. Don Quixote Doflamingo, through blackmail and cunning, became a warlord of the sea and overthrew the Riku family to become king of Dressrosa. This act would have long-lasting repercussions for the country and the world at large. In the East Blue, Arlong invaded Kokoyasi village, murdering Belmir and forcing Nami into his crew, setting in motion events that would eventually lead to the formation of the Straw Hat Pirates. On Water 7, Tom was framed by CP5 and sent to Enies Lobby, while his apprentice Cutty Flam was presumed dead after a failed rescue attempt. Fishman Island saw multiple tragedies, including the assassination of Queen Otoheim and Princess Shirahoshi becoming the target of Vander Decken IX's obsession. These events would deeply impact the future of human-fishman relations. 9 years ago, a violent war on Karaigana Island left a lasting impact on the island's human drills, while Koala, the former slave, joined the Revolutionary Army, continuing the legacy of Fisher Tiger in her own way. 8 years ago, Dr. Hiralik found and saved Tony Chopper, beginning a touching story of friendship that would shape Chopper's future. In Skypiea, Enel overthrew Gonfall in a coup, setting the stage for future conflicts in the Sky Island. 7 years ago saw the formation of the Usopp Pirates, a childhood group that would inspire the future Straw Hat Sniper. Dr. Hiralik's death led Chopper to study under Dr. Kureha, setting him on the path to becoming a great doctor. In Water 7, CP9 agents infiltrated the Galilaw Company, while on Thriller Bark, Brook was captured by Gecko Moria, beginning his lonely journey as a living skeleton. 6 years ago, Kuma stopped a brutal attempt by the former king Bikori to harm the citizens of Sorbet Kingdom, leading to Kuma being crowned as the new king. This event, known as the Solo Revolution, would have significant implications for Kuma's future. In Water 7, Cutty Flam resurfaced, taking on the name Frankie and receiving the blueprints for the ancient weapon Pluton. Nico Robin joined Baroque Works as Crocodile's partner, a decision that would eventually lead her to the Straw Hat Pirates. Perhaps most significantly, Shanks attained the status of emperor, solidifying his position as one of the most powerful pirates in the world. 5 years ago, several significant events occurred across the world. In the East Blue, the infamous pirate Captain Kuro faked his own death and assumed the identity of Klahadore, becoming the butler for Kaya's family. This deception would later play a crucial role in the Straw Hat Pirates' early adventures. In Alabasta, a severe drought began, with suspicions falling on the king for using dance powder. This crisis would set the stage for the kingdom's future turmoil. Meanwhile, Portgas d'Ace, at the age of 17, left his hometown, beginning his journey that would eventually lead him to become a commander of the Whitebeard Pirates. A significant event occurred on Whole Cake Island when Pedro and Zippo attempted to steal Big Mom's poneglyph. Their failure led to a tragic outcome, with Zippo losing his life and Pedro sacrificing 50 years of his lifespan and one of his eyes. This event would have far-reaching consequences, influencing Pedro's future actions and his eventual involvement with the Straw Hat Pirates. 4 years ago, we see more pieces falling into place for future events. Princess Vivi and Igaram infiltrated Baroque works, setting in motion events that would eventually lead to the Alabasta arc. Portgas d'Ace founded the Spade Pirates, beginning his rise to infamy. On Punk Hazard, Caesar Clown's illegal experiment caused widespread destruction, an event that would have significant repercussions in the future. In Wano, a young Tama met Ace during a famine, inspiring her dream of becoming a kunoichi. Ace's encounter with Yamato during his attempt to challenge Kaido would also prove significant for future events. Perhaps most crucially, this year saw Bartholomew Kuma make a fateful decision. In exchange for curing Jewelry Bonnie's sapphire scales disease, Kuma agreed to become a human weapon for the world government, sacrificing his free will in the process. This decision would have profound implications for the future, particularly for the Straw Hat Pirates. 3 years ago, we see the consequences of Kuma's decision unfolding. As he underwent modifications, he made efforts to communicate with Bonnie, though these were thwarted by government agents. The tragedy of Kuma's sacrifice is highlighted by his decision to write one last letter to Bonnie before losing his free will entirely. This year also saw the kidnapping of children for Caesar Clown's gigantification experiments on Punk Hazard, setting the stage for future conflicts. In the new world, Cavendish emerged as a powerful new super rookie, adding to the growing roster of formidable pirates in this era. 2 years ago, the year begins with Jewelry Bonnie's daring escape from the Sorbet Kingdom, using her devil fruit powers to outwit her captors and set sail to find Kuma. This marks the beginning of her journey as a pirate captain, driven by the desire to reunite with the man who sacrificed everything for her. Meanwhile, in the East Blue, Monkey D. Luffy finally sets out on his journey to become the Pirate King. In quick succession, he recruits Roronoa Zoro and Nami, defeats the pirates Buggy and Don Krieg, and helps Usopp save his village from the treacherous Klahadore, revealed to be the infamous Captain Kuro. These early adventures set the tone for the Straw Hat Pirates' future exploits. The crew's fame grows rapidly as they defeat Arlong in Kokoyasi village, leading to Luffy's first bounty of 30 million berries. As they enter the Grand Line, their adventures take on a grander scale. In the New World, significant events unfold. Marshal D. Teach, better known as Blackbeard, murders his crewmate Thatch to steal the Yami Yami no Mi, setting in motion a chain of events that would change the world. Ace's pursuit of Blackbeard would eventually lead to the Summit War of Marineford. The Straw Hats' journey through the Grand Line is marked by significant victories and new friendships. They help Princess Vivi save Alabasta from Crocodile, defeat the self-proclaimed god Enel in Skypiea, and recruit Tony Chopper and Nico Robin along the way. Their confrontation with CP9 at Enies Lobby marks a turning point, with the crew directly challenging the world government for the first time. The destruction of Enies Lobby and the defeat of CP9 cements their reputation as a major threat to the world government. The year reaches its climax with the Summit War of Marineford. Luffy's desperate attempt to save his brother Ace leads to a confrontation that shakes the foundations of the world. The deaths of Ace and Whitebeard, and Blackbeard's theft of Whitebeard's devil fruit power, mark the end of an era and the beginning of a new one. In the aftermath, Luffy makes the difficult decision to disband the Straw Hat Pirates for 2 years, recognizing the need to become stronger to face the challenges of the new world. 1 year ago, as the Straw Hat Pirates were scattered across the world for their individual training, significant events unfolded that would shape the future of the new world. A fierce battle erupted over the Thousand Sunny, the Straw Hats' beloved ship. Duval and his Rosy Life Riders, along with Hatchan and the now robotic Bartholomew Kuma, fought valiantly against marine forces to protect the ship. Their success in this endeavor would prove crucial for the Straw Hats' future return. Meanwhile, a power struggle within the Marines reached its climax. Admirals Akiji and Akainu engaged in a titanic duel on Punk Hazard for the position of Fleet Admiral. Their 10-day battle permanently altered the island's climate, splitting it between eternal ice and flame. Akainu's victory led to significant changes in the Marines, including the relocation of their headquarters to the New World and the appointment of 2 new admirals, Fujitora and Ryakugyu. In the power vacuum left by Whitebeard's death, Marshal D. Teach, known as Blackbeard, made his move. After defeating the remnants of the Whitebeard pirates in the Payback War, Blackbeard's crew went on a rampage through the New World, defeating numerous Devil Fruit users and stealing their powers. These actions cemented Blackbeard's position as one of the 4 emperors, replacing Whitebeard. Surprisingly, former Admiral Akiji, now known as Kazan, joined the Blackbeard pirates as a Titanic captain. The motivations behind this shocking alliance remain a mystery. The balance of power in the New World continued to shift. The Kid Pirates suffered a major setback in a clash with the Red Hair Pirates, with Eustace Kid losing an arm to Ben Beckman. Meanwhile, new faces like Bartolomeo emerged as powerful rookies, adding to the chaos of the era. Trafalgar Law's star continued to rise as he was appointed to the position of Warlord of the Sea, a move that would have significant implications for future events. And now, we arrive at the current era, a time of unprecedented change and upheaval in the world of One Piece. The Straw Hat Pirates, after 2 years of intense training, reunite at Sabaody Archipelago. Their return sends shockwaves through the world as they quickly reassert themselves as a major force in the New World. Their journey takes them to Fishman Island, where they confront long-standing racial tensions and defeat the new Fishman pirates. Princess Shirahoshi is revealed to be the ancient weapon Poseidon, adding a new layer of complexity to the world's power balance. The Straw Hats then form an alliance with the Heart Pirates, led by Trafalgar Law, to challenge the Emperor Kaido. This alliance leads them through a series of intense battles on Punk Hazard and Dressrosa, where they topple the warlord Doflamingo and gain powerful allies in the form of the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Meanwhile, major shifts occur in the world's power structure. The 7 warlord system is abolished, the Revolutionary Army suffers a major setback with the destruction of Baltaigo, and the balance of the 4 emperors is shaken as Luffy's influence grows. The Wano arc marks a turning point in the series. The alliance of Luffy, Law, and Kid manages to defeat not 1, but 2 emperors, Big Mom and Kaido. This monumental victory reshapes the balance of power in the New World, with Luffy and, surprisingly, Buggy ascending to the status of emperors. Recent events have seen rapid and dramatic changes. The Blackbeard pirates have become increasingly active, defeating both Kid and Law and kidnapping Kobe. The world government's true nature is being questioned as the mysterious figure of Emu is revealed and entire kingdoms are erased from existence. The story now centers on Egghead Island, where the Straw Hats have allied with Dr. Vegapunk and Jewelry Bonnie. The secrets of the Void Century and the true nature of the world government seem to be on the verge of being revealed. Most recently, the death of Dr. Vegapunk at the hands of Admiral Kizaru has triggered a pre-recorded message, promising to unveil world-shaking secrets. At the same time, the Iron Giant, a mysterious figure from 200 years ago, has awakened. As we stand at this pivotal moment, the world of One Piece is poised on the brink of a new era. The truths hidden for centuries are about to be revealed, and the actions of Luffy and his allies are set to reshape the entire world. The final saga of this epic tale is unfolding before our eyes, promising even greater adventures, revelations, and conflicts in the chapters to come. And there you have it, the incredible journey through the history of the One Piece world. From the mysterious Void Century to the current tumultuous era, we've witnessed the rise and fall of great powers, the birth of legendary pirates, and the unfolding of a story that has captivated millions around the globe. As we've seen, the world of One Piece is rich with intrigue, adventure, and mystery. Each era has built upon the last, leading us to this pivotal moment where the secrets of the past are on the verge of being revealed, and the future of the world hangs in the balance. The story of Monkey D. Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates is far from over. As they continue their journey towards the One Piece and the truth of the world, we can only imagine what incredible adventures and shocking revelations await. If you've enjoyed this deep dive into the One Piece timeline, please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps us create more content exploring the fascinating world of One Piece and other amazing anime and manga. Do you have a favorite moment from One Piece history? Or perhaps a theory about what secrets the Void Century holds? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's keep the discussion going and unravel the mysteries of this incredible world together. Thank you for watching, and remember, in the words of Gold Roger, my treasure? If you want it, you can have it. Search for it. I left everything in that place. Until next time, this is Amy Chan, sailing off into the grand line of anime knowledge.